Hello everyone, it's Meg and welcome back to another video. Today's video is so exciting. You will already be able to tell by the title of this video, but it is a reading vlog for a specific book, a book that is like my most anticipated release of the year. I only found out about it because it was only announced that this book was coming out like back in July, I think. But it's a very exciting book and you will already know what that book is by the title, and that is A Snowfall of Silver by Laura Wood. And if you are new on this channel, if you do not know, I love Laura Wood. She is probably my favourite author of all time, my favourite YA author at any rate. She has a couple of middle grade books out and she also has two young adult historical fiction books out, which are A Sky Painted Gold, I nearly forgot the name of it in there and that's so bad, and Under a Dancing Star. And she has just come out with a third book. The release date was actually yesterday, but I only got my copy today. I'm so excited. Like, we're gonna do an unboxing and just like, I can't tell you how excited I am. I'm so excited to read this book. So we're going to do an unboxing and I managed to bag myself, I hope this is actually the signed copy, a signed copy of this book from a lovely little independent bookshop called Storytellers Inc. in St Anne's, which is just down the road from Blackpool. So it's fairly local, like it's in the northwest, it's in Lancashire, so I love supporting them. And this is the box. Can we talk about how cute, like the packaging, like look, they've got like my name personalised and the art, and I'm just so excited. And there's a chocolate bar in here inspired by the book, so we're going to do an unboxing and then I'm going to read this book and I'm so excited. Like, yeah, let's just get into it. Are we ready? Are we ready? I'm not ready. Let's do this. Look! It's got snowflake tissue paper. I love. Oh my god. Look. It's like Christmas came early. It really is. Look. Oh, I'm sorry. I know I might be overreacting, but I just adore it. So this is the chocolate bar. And it is by Mary's Milk Bar. So this is a collaboration that Laura did with Storytellers Inc. and Mary's Milk Bar. So basically you get a signed copy of the book, which I will show you in its full glory in a second, and a chocolate bar inspired by our main character called Freya. It's her favourite food, which is bread and honey. So it's a bread and honey chocolate bar, and it is a honey milk chocolate bar with toasted sourdough breadcrumbs, and that's what the packaging looks like. It's super cute. I'm so excited to eat this, and I have to do an Instagram post with it also. And look at the book, it's like wrapped up and it's so cute. I don't want to undo it. Oh, you get a little discount as well, so a little note saying thank you. And I'm guessing this is that's like a postcard, like an advertisement for Mary's Milk Bar. I think they're set in Glasgow, not entirely sure. We get a bookmark from Storytellers Inc. and they are on St Anne's in Lancashire if you ever want to go and visit them. And then we have the book. Are you ready for this beautifulness? Like, this might be my favourite spine. I don't know if it's my favourite cover, but it's 100% my favourite spine. And look how stunning it is. Oh my god, look at the shininess. Look at that spine. I think that's my favourite spine of all the books of hers so far. And the back. And it's just gorgeous. I think it has, let's look at that's like the chapter headings. And it's also signed as well. A signed book plate. Oh, I'm so happy I have this book in my hands. Like, shall we have a look at all of them together? So these are Laura's other books. So look at those spines together. Oh, look at all the shininess. A Sky Painted Gold is actually quite warm because it's been read like 3 times. But yeah, look at that gorgeous shininess. So A Snowfall of Silver is actually a companion novel to A Sky Painted Gold, which is Laura Wood's first young adult novel. And in A Sky Painted Gold we follow a main character called Lou, And in A Snowfall of Silver we follow Lou's younger sister Freya. I would advise that you read this book first before picking this one up, because obviously you get to meet Freya in here. She's not like a main part of the story, but she is obviously a part of the story because she's one of Lou's siblings, so I definitely recommend picking this book up before you pick this one up. You don't have to, but I do recommend it. And this follows Freya, and she is 18 years old. This is in 1931, and she loves drama and all things theatrical, so she runs away to London to join a theatrical company, and that's all I know about it. Obviously it's a romance like with all of Laura Wood's other books, and unlike her other YA novels, this is set in winter, I believe, because obviously it says Snowfall Silver. These are both summer books, and this is set in the winter. And it's going to be a romance, but it's going to be a lot more about that. It's going to be about following your dreams and discovering who you are, just like Laura's other books. Like, oh, look at those covers. I'm just obsessed. So yeah, that's what this book is about. I don't know any more. I don't want to know any more. I know that Laura really loves this book. I think it's her favourite work that she's done to date. So I'm so excited to read it and like add it to my collection, because look at those books, like, oh, so pretty. But yeah, so now it's time to read it, but I'm actually going to be finishing the book that I'm currently reading, and then I will resume this vlog and start reading this book, obviously once I finish my current read. But I'm just so excited to read this book. It's going to be absolutely marvellous, and it's actually longer than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was actually a lot shorter, but I'm just so excited to read this book. I'm so excited to have it in my hands. It's just like, I think this is, well, it has potential to be my favourite of the year. I don't want to jinx it, but yeah, I'm so excited to read it. So that's my little unboxing, probably a rather long intro, but yeah, that is my intro. This is the beautiful book, and once I have finished my current read, I will resume this vlog and start reading this gorgeous, stunning book. So as you will have seen in some of the previous clips, I started A Snowfall of Silver the other day, and I am on page 86, and I am really enjoying this so far. I don't feel like I'm quite fully invested in it yet. I don't think there's anything to do with the book. I think it's just because I've been in such a weird reading mood lately. Like, it's taken me over 3 weeks to finish the last book that I had, and I wasn't even that keen on it. I've just been reading a lot of like mediocre books lately, but I'm hoping this is actually going to lift me out of that, because obviously I love Laura so much and her stories. But like I said at the beginning of this novel, this follows Freya, and she runs away to London. That is how the book starts, when she's on the train running away from Cornwall to London. And Freya is such a different character compared to Laura Wood's other main characters. She knows what she wants in life, she knows what she wants to be, where she wants to go, like she knows her direction in her life, and her other characters don't really know that when at the beginning of the book. But she is so characterful, and she is so determined, she's so charismatic. And it's really fun being able to get to know her. She's very dramatic as well. You can tell that she is quite naive a lot of times, but she is a really fun character to get to know. And I also really love being able to revisit Lou and Robert from A Sky Painted Gold. Like, it's so lovely to see them 2 years down the line and see how much Lou has grown and kind of grown into herself, which is absolutely wonderful. I love that, and she seems so happy at the moment at any rate. She's not been in the book that much yet, but yeah, I was just really been enjoying it so far, and I've been annotating it. You probably can't see the tabs very well, but I've been like tabbing it and annotating it a bit. And yeah, so I'm hoping I'm going to get into this a bit more. I've not had much time to just sit and read this book yet, because I've been doing other stuff and writing and reading textbooks and all that sort of thing. So I'm hoping at the weekend on Sunday I'll be able to kind of sit down and just take my time and read this a bit more, and from my day off. but I'm very much enjoying it so far. So I think those are all the thoughts that I have on this now. But I will update you later on, probably when I'm past the 100 page mark or when I have something else I want to say. But yeah, very much enjoying it so far and looking forward to continuing with it. Okay, so something really random I wanted to show you guys, but I want to include it in this vlog because it's kind of themed, is you all know I love Animal Crossing, and I decided to make the island that the Cardew house is on from Sky Painted Gold. So I thought I would show you, since you know it's a book that's related to the book I'm currently reading in this vlog. So my island isn't finished, and it's not exactly how I thought it would be, but I hope you like it. So this is my house, and ignore the Halloween decorations, but we have a path here, and I was going to do like a full-on like sea thing, but we've got the whole place is surrounded by waterfalls instead, because I thought that would be a better use of space. We have the famous apple orchard. If you have read this book, you will know the importance of this apple orchard. I have the area where they sometimes sit for meals outside. And we have the famous tree where Lou first hid when the Cardews arrived and had their first party. So we have that there. And then finally, down here we have their own private beach. The one where, if you have read the book, you will know that obviously there is some scenes with this private beach as well. So I just thought I'd show you that. It's not like finished yet, but it's somewhere, it's going, it's good, and I really liked it, so you know, I thought I'd show you, and it's a perfect opportunity. So yeah, that is my little tour of my Cardew island. So it is quite a good few days later. I've not been very good at updating you guys, and I'm sorry about that. My mental health's just been a little bit weird lately, and I've not had the best day at work because of like the whole coronavirus situation. So you know, that's been fun. But I'm going to do an update now. So I'm actually over halfway through now. I am on page 226, so obviously quite a bit further on compared to the last time I updated you guys, and honestly I'm still really enjoying it. I don't have too much more to say, and something I was going to mention in my last clip but for some reason I didn't, is that if you don't know, if you've not read Laura's other books, I feel like they are inspired definitely. Sky Painted Gold, which is the kind of companion novel to this, I feel like it's very much inspired by like Great Gatsby and I Capture the Castle. Laura's second book, Under a Dancing Star, is a Much Ado About Nothing prequel, I think. And then this book isn't like, as far as I'm aware, it's not directly inspired by any novels or anything like that, or it's like a retelling-esque, I guess. But the play that the travelling theatre company does, that Freya travels with in this book, does The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde, which I think is amazing. I just love how she kind of entangles these other famous stories into her novels. I really love that, whether it's kind of inspired or like a retelling, or whether it is something like in this one where they are performing a play. So I just really enjoy that. And also with all of Laura's characters, you do kind of get a whole variety of characters. You can get quite a few, and obviously this isn't a spoiler, as I said, Freya ends up travelling with a theatre company. So obviously there's a whole cast and crew, and there are quite a few characters, but you do get to know them quite well, even the ones that don't have a big role or anything like that, who are just in passing and aren't necessarily part of the crew. You do get to know them, you get to know their personality, and it's not like they're very well fleshed out, if you see what I mean, and they all have their own personalities and their quirks and all that sort of thing, which I really enjoy. Freya is quite a naive character, but at the same time she does have her head screwed on to a certain extent, even though she's somebody who's very dramatic. But yeah, I've just been really enjoying this. I still don't feel like I'm quite loving it as much as the other books. I feel it's just honestly because of my reading mood. I'm just in a really strange mood at the moment when it comes to reading, but honestly, I'm enjoying this. I have no complaints at all. I have been annotating it, as you can see, and this is also a very funny book. So if you like funny books, I think you will like this. There's some right corkers that come out of here that Freya does. I'll see if I can find one actually. There's one line that I really like that just made me chuckle, and it's about one of the main characters from the cast, and basically Freya says to herself, "He would flirt with a potted plant if it wore a skirt," and I just found that really funny. But yeah, it's very funny, just like Under a Dazzling Star especially. They're probably the two books of Laura's that are the funniest, but I'm just really enjoying this. I have no complaints, and yeah, I'm just really enjoying it and looking forward to seeing where the story goes. And also, because I'm over halfway through the book, I think it's about time I try this chocolate that I got with my little package. So we're going to open it now and we're going to try it, and this is inspired by Freya's favourite food, which is bread and honey. So it's a honey flavoured chocolate bar, and I think it's got sourdough breadcrumbs on top, which seems very exciting. So we shall open it up now and try it and see what we think. So it's just plain. You can see like the breadcrumbs that are kind of in it. I didn't know whether they'd be like on top of it, but they're inside it. So I shall break a piece off and give it a go. Ooh, oh, I really got a bit of honey then. No, that's quite nice actually. I've never had like honey in chocolate, I don't think, but the breadcrumbs are nice. They kind of just give it a bit of a crunchy texture. But that's actually quite nice. I approve. Like, obviously it has real honey in it. I don't know why I wouldn't, but no, that's nice. I approve of that chocolate. So if you want to check out Mary's Milk Bar, I recommend. Well, actually, I don't think you can get this way because it's not exclusive, but I recommend the chocolate because it's very nice. So yeah, chocolate bar is tried and tested, and I very much enjoyed it. Very much enjoying this book. So I will try my best to update you guys once more before like my final thoughts when I finish this book. Hopefully I will finish it fairly soon because I've got a readathon that I'm doing on Friday. So that is my plan for this. So I will update you guys once I have read more of this, when I've got maybe about 100 pages left, something along those lines, or before, if there's something very exciting that's about to happen. So I am on page 298 of this book now, so I have less than 100 pages left, and I'm really starting to just totally and utterly fall in love with this book now. I feel like, I don't think it's necessarily taken me longer to get into it. I think it's just purely the mood that I'm in, because like I've said before, my mental health's been a bit off over the past like week or so, so reading doesn't always help. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but it doesn't always mean that I can get fully invested in books like I used to. But I'm just falling in love with this even more now. They're at a point now where they're in this theatre and they're having like this dinner party, and it's just magical, and it's just everything is just so vivid, the setting and what the characters are wearing, and oh, I just love it so much, and I think Kit might be my favourite character, or at least one of my favourites. Like, he's great. Can I have a best friend as Kit, please? I would really appreciate that. But something I wanted to talk about in this book, this was about a few chapters ago actually when they were talking about this, but it is something that is, it's not a main part of the book, but it is a part of the book, and that is about one of our main characters called Viola, and she is mixed race. Her mother is Indian and her father is British, and obviously she's an actor, and Freya always wonders, because obviously she's come from a very small town, and she hasn't been exposed to much, and she always wonders, she believes that Viola is an amazing actress, and she always wonders why she doesn't get big work. And Viola just puts it out for her there, and it's kind of just a discussion around race, about how producers, she has to fight for what she wants, like really fight more than other girls because of her ethnicity, of her race. And this is a discussion that happened in A Sky Painted Gold as well. That was like race and kind of being of a different ethnicity in Britain and the difficulties of it during the 1920s and 1930s. And I feel like Laura handles it really well and really respectfully, and I just really like the way that Laura handles it and kind of discussions around it, because like I said, it's not a main part of the book, but obviously it is a discussion that is in the book and a very important discussion to be having. It's just basically about Viola's difficulties of why she isn't making, like, her name isn't getting any, like, big in the theatre world because of her race, and because producers think she is exotic, and she really hates that. But I just really enjoy the way that Laura talks about this topic again. I think she does a very good job of it. And like I said, it's a very important topic to be having, and also something that Freya doesn't really know a lot about, so it's something that I really enjoy in here. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and especially because I've just had a little bit of time just now to just sit and read it, and I've not really had time to sit and read it much. I've kind of only been reading it in the mornings and the evenings, like before I go to bed and when I get up in the morning, so to not have like a time during the day to sit and read it. So I'm going to probably read some more of this tonight. I've been tapping it quite a lot, as you can see, and there's just so many lovely descriptions. I need to try and find one in here for you because it is just like chef's kiss. It is so good. So Laura wrote about the snow because where they are now, they are snowed in at a theatre, which is where they're having this dinner party, and this is how Laura describes the snow when they go adventuring after the snowstorm. And it says, "We crunch through the snow, our footprints, the first footprints, breaking through the crisp crust like a teaspoon tapping against burnt sugar." Like, this is why I love Laura's writing, because it's just, oh god, that's just stunning. Like, we stand. So yeah, I just had to share that because it's one of my favourite descriptive lines of this book. I just love that so much. So yeah, so I'm just really very much enjoying this book. So unless if I have anything else to update you guys on, I'm probably going to end up sharing my final thoughts when I have finished it, and I'm going to be very sad when it finishes. Like with all Laura's books, I'm always so sad when I finish them, but I will be able to obviously revisit this at some point in the future. But yeah, I'm very much enjoying it now, and I will either update you when I have something that I want to discuss, or I will update you guys once I have finished it. I just finished A Snowfall of Silver, and I'm so sad that it's over. It's actually the same day, it's like a bit later on, and I just sat and finished reading this book, and it just fully took me over with all its charm and loveliness. I loved it so much. I'm so sad that it's over. I have been like sat here moping for the past 5 minutes because I'm so sad that it's over, and I loved it so much. So yeah, if you can't tell, I really, really love this book. I feel like I just needed to sit down and just devote time to reading it, because I've not really done that since I started reading it. But I love it so much. I love Laura's books so much. They make me so happy. I love the ending. I love how everything turned out. I just, oh, I probably can't give you very many straight thoughts now. I think I will do a wrap up, like, of serious thoughts and close out this video tomorrow once my emotions have gone down. But if you haven't already guessed, my emotions are a mess. Just like after reading her other young adult books for the first time. It's a mess. Like, I have tabbed and annotated this thing up to the gods. I loved it so much. I loved how all the discussions that were in this as well. It's just absolutely beautiful, and I love it. And there's a reason why I love Laura. I was really worried and apprehensive whether or not this would live up to her other books, because obviously I had a lot of expectation on this book, but it did not let me down. I love it with all my heart, just like Laura's other books. I genuinely don't think I can choose between her books at all. They're all my favourite. I can't choose. I love this very much. If you have not read this book, please go and read it. Whether you have read Laura's other books or not, go and read this book and then go and read her others, or go and read her others, then go and read this. It is beautiful and stunning, and I could blab on for ages about it, but I'm going to sign off this now and let myself wallow in my feelings, and be sad that I don't have another Laura Wood book to read until her next novel comes out next year. So yeah, I'm signing off for now, and I will give you my final thoughts, which will hopefully be a little bit more collected tomorrow. So now it is the next day, so it's time for a final wrap up of A Snowfall is Silver. I'm like still recovering from yesterday, not gonna lie. I'm just like, when am I gonna read a book as good as this again? Like, I don't know, we will see. Hopefully the book that I'm currently reading is going to be just as good. But I will try my best to give you my final thoughts and my final wrap up for this book. So if you can't tell by this entire video, I really enjoyed this book. I'm a fan of Laura anyway, and honestly I don't think I can choose between which book of hers is my favourite. Usually I can pick a favourite for an author, but genuinely I cannot pick a favourite from her books. They are just so wonderful. I love how immersive her writing is. I've kind of done a slightly different tabbing system over the past couple of months, and I've been like tabbing like my favourite sentences and like descriptions and stuff, which I absolutely adored. I love the humour in this book as well. It's just like Under a Dancing Star. The humour is just brilliant. It's not like too over the top, but it's just something that makes you smile and makes you laugh. And the characters are charming as well. Like I have said previously, obviously Freya is a very different character compared to Bee and to Lou, because at the start of the book, she's very sure of what she wants to do in life. She knows she wants to be an actress. That is what she's wanted to do her entire life. But as the story goes on, she starts to realise that maybe it's not what she was meant to do, and it's kind of, she grieves for the fact that she is never going to, the possibility that she may never be an actress. And kind of that thing of what happens next. The characters are charming in her books as always, even if they only play a small part. You feel very connected to them, like you know them very well. They're very well rounded, they're all very different, but at the same time you love how they kind of come together. They all fit together perfectly at this crew for this theatre production, and the vivid scenery of all these little theatres that they went to on the tour is just wonderful. And even though obviously this book is very reasonably light, it does obviously talk about some more important topics, and also the romance isn't the main factor. Even though they are marketed as YA romances, there's so much more to this book than the romance. The romance kind of more happens towards the end of the book. Because obviously at the start Freya doesn't want romance, that's not what she wants, because she wants to focus on her career. But like I said yesterday, I really enjoyed the topic of how it was discussed around race, as which is something that Laura has touched upon in her previous books. And also, I don't think Laura has touched on this next topic that I didn't tell you guys about yesterday, but it also touches on mental health. And I think specifically either depression or bipolar, one or the other, I'm not entirely sure which of those it is specified in this book. But the topic of mental health is discussed, and specifically mental health in women. And this is another discussion that I have with Viola. I think Viola is such an interesting character. I feel like there's so much. She's a very well-rounded character. She's very mysterious, but there's also a reason why she is the way she is. And they talk about basically about how she talks to Lou about how she gets these episodes where she finds it really hard to wake up in the morning. Everything just seems grey, and she talks about how she's like, why Freya is like, why can't you tell her about people about this? And she said that basically in a woman it's seen as madness, but in a man it would be seen as genius. Obviously men are seen as more intelligent, and even madness in a man can be seen as genius, where it is in a woman is mad and they will lock her up. And obviously mental health is something that isn't talked about that much during like the 1920s, 1930s, and through those times it's something that isn't discussed. And if you are suffering from something like that, there aren't really many treatments. They tend to just lock you up. But I love the discussion around, but that's something that I really enjoyed and was not expecting in this book. But overall, it's just such a wonderful book. I generally don't know who my favourite character is. I feel like Kit has to be one of my favourite characters. Viola is a character that I feel like is the most interesting. I feel like she has so many layers to her, and I do love Freya. Like, we gotta love Freya. She's very dramatic. She's not the typical character that I would instantly fall in love with, but I do learn to love her, and I really love her ambition and her drive and to work hard and not be afraid to share her opinions and her voice. And I just really love this, especially the winter setting, because obviously, like I've said previously, Laura's last two young adult books are set in the summer and this is set in the winter, and they get snowed in a little theatre, and it's just wonderful. Like, I wish I could have been there with them. I felt like I was going to be up there with them because I wasn't intending to finish this last night, but it's a book that sucks you in, and before you know it you've read like several pages and you're just like, okay, I'll just keep going then, and you keep going and then you finish it. It's such an engaging and immersive read, like with her other books, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Obviously I had to. I'm so glad that I got to read this. I'm so glad that it ended up living up to my expectations. And yeah, if you have not picked up Laura's books yet, I highly recommend that you do. If you want to pick this book up, I would recommend reading A Sky Painted Gold first, just because you get to know the characters a little bit more. You get to know Freya a little bit, and then you can go into this one afterwards. But yes, so I think that's everything I need to say. Probably not very cohesive, probably rather jumbled, but I hope that kind of made sense. Just know that I loved it. I loved everything about it, and I think that you should read it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. It's been a little while since I've done a video for a specific book, but if you have any books that you would like me to do vlogs on for like specific vlogs in the future, I will definitely try and do that for you. But obviously I had to do it for a Snowfall of Silver. Like, how could I not? And I will probably do it when Laura's next book comes out, which I believe she's coming out with another book next year. So you may get another vlog then, but we will see. But it was so much fun kind of taking you on my journey with this, reading this novel and sharing my thoughts on it. Because I feel like it's easy for me to tell you my thoughts bit by bit than kind of telling you them as a whole, which is what I've just done now. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe it inspired you to pick A Snowfall of Silver up or some of Laura's other books. If you like this video, then please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more bookish videos from me, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and little bell icon so you'll be noted every time I post a new video. As always, I will leave links to my social media along with the links to my Goodreads in the description down below for you guys. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!